Hello, today we're going to be making the main battle tank. My name's Malcolm, my sidekick Wyatt. He's doing all the technical work while I do all the woodworking. And this is Grandpa's Toy Shop. All right, in today's main battle tank, some of the things you're going to need are a 2x4, 1/4-inch stick stir stick, a regular paint stir stick, a 5/16 dowel rod and a 1/4-inch dowel rod, and one steel 1/4-inch washer. We're going to start out by making the countersink holes for the wheels, and we're going to start by using my print right here. I have a little stick that I use that helps me, and it's 1 1/4 inch for the first wheel, 3 5/8 for the second wheel, and 5 3/4 for the third wheel. And this almost makes it perfectly even, except for the last one. There's an extra 1/8 of an inch. You want the main block to be 3 inches wide, 1.5 inches thick, and 7 inches long. So this is what we'll start. We want the hole to be 5/16 up, because you're making the hole 9/16 of an inch thick to hold the 1/4-inch rod. This will be the axle rod that goes through. This one in the middle, if you can, maybe cheat a little bit and make it a little higher, because it's going to be, sometimes if it doesn't cut right, it'll look like it's rocking and rolling. Instead of being flat, it'll be more like a teeter-totter. And we will start by setting these holes. All right, this is us going to start. This is a 1 5 3/4 inch hole cutter. And I forgot to measure. We want to make these holes a 1/2 inch deep. There we go. All right. Okay, now what we have to do right now is change the bit, because this is the only part that really we want to keep square. That way there, the wheels don't bind up and you don't have a lot of chatter. So we'll finish off with a 1/4-inch drill bit. This also makes it a lot easier to line the holes up on the other side. Take the block off. It didn't quite go all the way through, so I'm going to have to lengthen the bit. And the holes came all the way through now. So when we put the hole bit back in, we'll be able to line it up. Come on, there you go. Same thing, we have to get it so it's a 1/2 inch down, because we don't want it to go past that. There we go. All right. Now that we've got the drilling part done, I like this part. We come in with the chisel and we knock these out. Oh. That broke off. We can fix that. That's no big deal. You're supposed to have fun with it. And besides that, once it's all done and you give it to a kid, they're going to destroy it anyways. You don't have to get too carried away with it because the wheels will be covering most of it. Okay, now to the next step. All right, right now we're going to finish off the main body. We're going to be drilling a 17/64 hole, just a little bigger than 1/4 inch, just so it'll move around. And we're going to make that hole 2 3/4 inches back. And right in the middle, which is 1 1/2. And this hole will go clean through. Okay, the next set of holes I'm going to drill are 932. Now these holes are for the axles, and I have to use 932 because a lot of times the axles will warp and twist and they won't roll free. So you make the holes just a little sloppier than you would like them to be, but that's what you have to do. And these are for making for fun. Try not to be so serious about it. If they're a little off, oh well. Don't worry. Okay, and we have one more drill to do. We'll use a paddle bit for this. A 1/2 inch paddle bit, and this is so we can put a little lock on the end of the tank turret, otherwise it'll keep falling off, and you know how mad you'll be if it falls off and you step on a 1/4 inch dowel. Go that far down, just enough to so you can be able to glue in the washer, and I'll show you that when we get ready to put it together. All right, right now we can take the paddle bit off. We're going to need that again for the tank turret. And the next step we do now is going to be on the table saw. And I had my little bit I had to glue on that I broke off earlier. Oops. All right, for this next part, we're going to be cutting all the little angles so it'll give it a little more of a look and a feel than just being a square block tank. This is the tank turret. This is the main tank body. The first cuts we're going to be making are going to be anywhere from 7 to 9 degrees. Like I said, it's not an exact science, and you don't have to really get upset if it's not right. You can change it if you don't like it. You can make the tank actually bigger. And you line it up so you know that it's going to cut. You don't want to go all the way to the top because I have to go back to my plans. Okay. This is actually the back part of the tank. Wrong again. This is the tank turret. We're going to be doing basically the same thing. I don't want to take off too much. A little more. There we go. This is the back of the tank turret. It's going to get another 7 or 8 degree cut. Basically, that's what it's going to look like. It's just a little nip, take it off. All right. The next part is the same thing, but we're going to be making a 45-degree cut. And this is going to be the same thing. We're just wanting to take off a little of the edge. A little more than that. Just a little tiny bit. We could probably take it down with a belt sander or a planer if you've got one. Okay. Now this is the front of the tank. You can see where the hole is. It's more forward. We can take off of a bigger of a cut. Hee-haw! That's why you buy your safety glasses. And a 45-degree cut on the bottom. We're going to make that a little shallower. There you go. A little bit more. Okay. And for the tank turret, we're going to have, this is the back of the turret. Just a tiny little bit. All right. This is going to be for the front of the tank. We have to be a little more careful. So we'll have room for the tank barrel when we drill that. That looks about good enough right there. Now we bring it back up. We just want to make exactly sure that it's square to the table. Because sometimes the little number on the bottom doesn't quite read true. It tells me lies. There we go. And this is set at a 45. And we want to try and get it so it catches both of these corners on the tank turret. A little too much, that's okay. There's more. All right, we found the center of the head on the bottom, and we're going to drill a 1/4-inch hole in it, and this is going to take the dowel rod that actually holds the tank head to the tank body. This too has to be measured, 1/2 inch. So I already got my little line there, so we're kind of cheating a little bit. That's all there is to that one. Now, the next one is going to be for the tank barrel. We'll put that on the front of the tank. It's basically about 1 inch wide. So we'll put it 1/2 inch. And it's 3/4, 5/8 this way. So we're going to put it right about there. Should be quite dead center. And we're going to change this. And this is going to take the actual tank barrel. And Wyatt, right behind you on the table, there should be a little square block that's not cut.
Sorry, I'm blind.
Move up a little bit more, right there, that's it, yep. Thank you. I knew I had them around here for some reason. All right, and this is the same way. We're gonna about 1/2 inch down because we don't have to use so much wood. All right. And the last one we're going to do is the paddle bit again. The 1/2 inch. Wyatt's got over there. All right, and we're going to do it 1/2 inch. This is for the mock hatch. And this hole here, you can actually drill a little deeper if you wanted to. Some people leave the hatch off. We're going to plug this hole though with a screw button, a 1/2 inch screw button. Some people leave it open so they can cut a little plastic soldier guy in half and stick him in there. Just have to get it deep enough to fit the screw plug. Put that back where it belongs. Don't have to lose it. All right, we have to drill this one more hole. And this is going to be for the washer on the bottom of the tank. And we're going to be cutting that out. We're going to be cutting all the axles. We're going to be cutting out the water can and the pin for the tank top and the barrel. And so we're going to go over to the scroll saw to do all that. All right, right now we're going to cut for the barrel, the axles for the wheels, and the pin for the tank turret to hold it in place, and the washer that holds the pin in place. So we'll start out, we'll do the barrel, we'll make it 3 inches.
I'll go deal with the dog.
Oh, Meme's home.
Oh. I'll go say hi to Meme.
There's the tank barrel. Now, for the axles, we're going to make them 2 7/8 long. And we're going to need 3 of them. And I like to make them a little shorter. That way there, inside the wheel, there'll be a little gap and it'll hold a little bit of glue. Okay, and this is going to be for the washer that holds the pin down on the tank barrel. Oh, and while I'm here working on it, I've already got it. This is a 1/4 inch stir stick and a regular stir stick glued together. And this is going to be for the jerry can. Normally I make a whole bunch of them at a time, but seeing how we're making a video, I'm just going to make one today. All right, the last step is the sanding. I hate it. It makes me itch and sneeze. But there's a few things we're going to take care of first. We're going to get some of the wheels started, because I like that when they're almost dried, I can pound the other wheel on and it won't mess it up. The way I like to do it is I just put a little squeeze in my plate, use my toothpick, and put the glue right inside the wheel. Then I take the pin, the axle, and I pound it in. All right, we'll finish gluing this on. We got the jerry can. This is what holds water. Because you're in one of these tin cans, I imagine you get pretty thirsty. We got us a spare tire. In case you get a flat. That would really suck. All right. We have the last little things here are a couple of windows. We'll glue them on. There's one that goes on the tank turret. Two that'll go on the tank body. They almost kind of look like headlights, but they're not. They're supposed to be windows. Okay, and the last two things we put on are these flat things that came off of the stir sticks. Sometimes people put them on in stripes, put them on as railings. I just put them on as engine covers, just to give it something a little different. You know, break up the body. And there we are. We've just knitted a new tank. And I know my grandkids are going to have a blast with it. And hopefully it'll be pretty close to indestructible, because they will destroy it. But that's what it's for. And as the weeks go on, I have more. I got the Willys Jeep with an artillery piece. I got the 2.5 truck with the limber, the ammo limber, and a small armored car. Almost like the tank, same thing, but just a little smaller and only 2 wheels. See you next week, I hope.